Welcome everybody to the Bush and Me Show. Week 11, baby. Some great games last week. Not for me. You were 2-1, got back on track. I was 1-2, got my lock back on track. Green Bay came through for us. Told you, Aaron Rodgers never been an underdog by as much. It came down a little bit before the game started, but we got a little lucky. Some Cowboy fans might say we got some no calls, but a win's a win, baby. Back in the win column with the lock.
Well, you know, Dallas Cowboys fans will be unhappy all the time. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But that was definitely an exciting game. Definitely not the way I thought it was going to play out. But big kudos to Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones while we're sitting here talking about it, because that run game showed up. But you talk about, man, week 10, they had those games, they had some bangers out there. First off, you had that boy Jeff Saturday. Everybody gave him flack about the way he got his opportunity, including myself. I didn't agree with it. I'm not going to say I still agree with it, but, you know, he did tweet out a week before he got the job that the Las Vegas Raiders were awful, and, yeah, they wouldn't got the job done. They played awful again. But you talk about exciting games.
Oh, man.
That Bills and Vikings game, I've played in a lot of exciting games. I've seen a lot of exciting games. That one definitely might have broke my top 5, maybe my top 3.
That was up there. I mean, the Bills Twitter account even tweeted ball game with like 40 seconds left. I saw it on Barstool. They tweeted goal line stop ball game. But that was great. I mean, that Justin Jefferson catch was the greatest catch I've ever seen. Not one of. It has to be the greatest. The way it didn't hit the ground and he was holding it with the other dude, and he was like, "Thanks for holding it for me for a little bit," but we yoink.
Right. It was like they were working against each other. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know, but that was a hell of a catch, a hell of a game. Man, I'm enjoying NFL. I'm enjoying this season even more. It's like kind of like post-COVID. Like every year post-COVID's been really exciting football, and it hasn't let me down. So I'm excited about this week.
The parity in the league is ridiculous this year. The margin of victories are closer than they've been in a long time.
Yeah.
Let's jump into trends. I'll run through these trends real quick, and then we'll get into the picks. Trends for Week 11. These are just team trends here. So the Tennessee Titans, you remember the Titans, are 7-0 against the spread in their last 7 games. That was surprising to me. I didn't realize that trend was moving like that. I know I lost against them a couple times. But they are rocking and rolling. By the time you watch this video, they're played Thursday night, so maybe it'll be 8-0. Cowboys are 10-2 against the spread their last 12 games after a loss. So they just lost 10-2 against the spread. Maybe that'll come up in our picks later. The Jets and the Vikings are 9-0 against the spread in the fourth quarter this year. So if you're looking for a live bet, you're a little bored, it's like 3:45, you want to get some action in. 9-0 against the spread Jets, 9-0 against the spread Vikings. The Los Angeles Rams are 2-6-1 against the spread this year. That is the worst for a defending Super Bowl champion since 1997. Not a good look there.
I hope they have the worst game of the season.
The Atlanta Falcons, we talked about them for a while at the beginning of the season, started 6-0 against the spread this year. Since then, they are 0-4 against the spread. They have lost every week.
And I hope they're 0-5 after this.
Bitter always did look good on you.
Whatever. It is what it is. You know, I mean, it's like the two teams you talk about are the two teams I kind of hate the most. Keep going.
Of course. I hear you. And me's lock of the week started 6-0. That was a trend. Then went on an 0-3 run. We got it back. We got it back this week, baby. Didn't look good in the fourth quarter, but it's not about that. It's about how you finish. Thank you, Aaron Rodgers and Green Bay. We're getting back on track. We got a great lock this week. I love it. But before we get there, let's run through the picks. Why don't you lead it off, Big Dog?
Hold on. I mean, we're still talking about trends?
No.
When Carson,
picks.
No, I'm talking.
Oh, what's your trend? Give me your trend.
I mean, you're the only person that gets to talk about trends?
No, go ahead.
When Carson Wentz comes back No, it's not. It's trending the right way, along with these waves. I'm sorry, you can't say the same. When you talk about trends, the Commanders. When Carson Wentz comes back, he needs to sit his behind on that bench because Taylor Heineke has the Washington Commanders playing football. I wish they would have gave this kid the opportunity in the beginning of the season. Obviously, you go get a big ticket item like Carson Wentz. That's exciting. But go back and look at what Taylor Heineke, some of the games that he was able to pull off last year. The kid plays exciting football. The team is rallying, behind this guy. Huge game again for him this past week. He's stacking up good W's, and the team's rallying behind him. That's the only trend I got for you. But
real quick.
Yeah.
We were watching a tennis match with Taylor Fritz the other day. Me and my guys were on it, and I wanted to see how tall he was. So I Googled Taylor, and the guy Taylor Fritz didn't even come up. The first three things that came up on Google were Taylor Swift. Taylor Heineke was number 2. This is the day after the Eagles upset. And Taylor Swift tickets was number 3. She took 1 and 3.
Oh, man.
So I clicked on there, and now I got ticket. No, I'm just kidding.
You probably did. You look like a Taylor Swift guy.
Come on. Week 11. Let's jump into it. What's your first pick?
Well, we might as well get this one out the way. I already said that I hope the Rams go against that. Well, actually, I hope they keep up what they've been doing when you're talking about the spreads and how awful they have been. What, 2-6-1? You said
that's the Rams.
They're going back to New Orleans since the first time since that no-call game. You know, just to make sure everybody out there knows that was my last NFL football game that I was a part of. So I potentially might be in the building, but I am not going to be happy if the New Orleans Saints don't take care of business this week. I am excited about this game. Like I said, it's the first time the Rams have been back to New Orleans since that whole game. I'm expecting a rowdy crowd, despite the Saints' record and honestly, their up and down play this year, which has been a little disheartening for me personally, but they're banged up. The Saints are banged up, and unfortunately, their offensive line is banged up. Eric McCoy is not going to play. Andrews Pete, he's banged up. I don't think he's going to play. Hurst has a concussion, and then you got backup center and your starting right tackle are out right now with illness, and they got to play Aaron Donald and Leonard Floyd. That worries me. That worries me for New Orleans. You got to get this guy AK, Dennis Allen, Pete Carmichael, fire up AK and fire up Taysom Hill, because we got to get this run game going. We have to be. We got to throw some exotic looks at them, because the Rams are at the bottom of the league when you're talking about scoring and honestly being able to pull out W's this year. This year they're struggling. The Saints are struggling, but who's going to come up? Who's going to find a way to make plays? I think you got to do it on the ground. You know, the Saints are doing an awful job this year with the turnover differential at -12. They got to turn that around, and if they want to get on any kind of hot streak, they got to start with putting one game. They got to start with stacking one win. You can't have this turn into a drop back fest, because Aaron Donald will make your life hell. I'm going with the Saints just for personal reasons. If you're out there with betting with your money and not with your heart like I am, I'll leave that up to you. But if you're listening to me, I'm going with the Saints because we need it.
Saints! That was a tough one to watch. Your last game ever. Let's get some revenge here. I'm with you on this one.
Thank you.
I'm rooting for the Saints for you, big dog. Talking about betting with your heart and not your brain, I think I'm doing a little both here. For my first pick, I'm going right down the street to the Baltimore Ravens. Coming off a bye, they're laying double digits, which the last couple weeks has not worked out well in the NFL. They're minus 13 points, but they're playing the Carolina Panthers. I know I was on the Panthers last week at Me's Money Moves. It was a good play against Atlanta Thursday night at home. Now you're taking on what arguably the hottest team in the NFL, who has arguably the easiest schedule left. They're coming off a bye. The Ravens, I didn't know this either until I looked this up, but the Ravens are 0-4 against the spread at home this year. They have not covered the spread once. That's not like a John Harbaugh team. Lamar is 7-2 against the spread after 8 days or more of rest. So he gets focused. I think he's going to be laser focused for this game. Baker's back, and I think that helps my case here. I'm looking at like a Ravens shutout. I mean, this is Roquan Smith first game that he's going to be playing at the bank. I think he's going to get that crowd hyped. He's going to make a couple hits like he did the other night or 2 weeks ago. He's just going to ignite them. I think it's going to be like a 31-3, 31-6 type of game. I'm laying the points. If you're betting with your money, it might be a good idea to take the Ravens in the first half because they're very dominant in the first half too, and they might lose focus if they blow this thing out.
Yeah.
So take a look at that one. But for the sake of the show, I'm taking Ravens minus the 13.
I like that. I really like that pick. And to really go back to, kind of hammer one of your points home, that Roquan Smith trade that they were able to get, that really, to me, was the X factor in that Monday night game versus the Saints because he was everywhere. Every single 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2, he made the play. So that's the type of player that, honestly, the Baltimore Ravens needed. And he's already added that spark, brought that leadership, brought that toughness. So, listen, big pickup. I think that was a good point you had. I think it might be a little bit too much for the Panthers to handle. Okay. Now we're going down to that dirty, where my bear down Bears will be entering the stadium playing against the Falcons. The Falcons are favored by 3 in this one. And if, this is a big man's dream, this game right here. I think I try to pick a game every single week that kind of has this theme, but this is a ground and pound style of football game that we're going to see. And the thing about this game is that the Bears have momentum. This is a team that you would bet against them in the first half of this season. But over the last, 4 or 5 weeks, they've looked pretty good. And that all starts with their quarterback. They're doing a great job. Atlanta is definitely struggling to stop the run. Not really struggling to stop the run because against running backs, they're giving up right around 4 yards a carry, but they're struggling against running quarterbacks. They're giving up just over 6 yards a carry. So I definitely think this plays into the success of Justin Fields and what he's able to do with his legs, and then he'll have the opportunity to let it go through the air. But I definitely think if he can start with his legs, and then the Chicago Bears do have a really nice rushing attack out of their running back duo out of Khalil Herbert and Montgomery. Khalil is listen, this guy is almost at 6 yards a carry, 5.7, and then you got Montgomery who's right around the 4 yard per carry mark. I think this is a great opportunity for the Chicago Bears to keep up their momentum. As far as protection, the one thing that I'm really going to look at for the Bears and and honestly for the Atlanta Falcons, the Falcons are struggling to get to the quarterback, and the Bears are doing an abysmal job of protecting Justin Fields. So I got to figure out what's going to give here. I believe it's going to be Justin Fields' ability to run this ball this week to give his team an opportunity to win this game. Atlanta just doesn't get to the quarterback enough. They are exciting. They did get the running back. He was hurt and banged up for a couple of weeks, so it's exciting to see him back. Kyle Pitts is playing solid as well. So I'm going with the Bears, man. I'm riding the Bears on this momentum train.
I'm over here looking around. I'm Googling. What momentum are you talking about? They just lost to the Lions.
They did. I'm sorry. It's not that momentum. I mean.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean. They look good, but I had to shoot that at you because I got the Falcons here. We're against each other on this pick. Before we even talked, I was on the Falcons minus the 3. Falcons are 4-6. Bears are 3-7. Now, what I wrote down is Bears haven't beaten anybody. They beat the 49ers, but that was in a monsoon week 1. That doesn't even count. They beat the Texans. They only beat them by 3 at home. And they beat the Patriots on Monday night. I give them that, but that was that QB debacle. They didn't really know if Mac Jones was back. Was he coming back? So they did look good there. I'm not going to say the Bears are a good team. They're a team that played well 1 week.
Yes.
They are first in rushing, which would worry me a little bit. But the Falcons are 4th in rushing. So I think this is going to be long drives, whoever makes the least mistakes in this game. And the Bears cannot get behind early because they are dead last in passing yards. Any passing team in the NFL, they're dead last. You can't get behind early. And then I also found this little stat here. Marcus Mariota, this is the first time, obviously, with Atlanta that he's going to have extended rest, which would be they're coming off the bye for the Falcons. He's 7-1 in his career coming off 8 days or more rest. So similar to Lamar, what I had with Lamar. I just think he's going to dig into the film. He's going to scout the hell out of this Bears defense. And I'm taking Atlanta minus the 3 here. So another game we're head-to-head. You got your Bears. I'm with the Rise Up Falcons.
Yeah, I'm going to take the Bears, man. I feel good about this pick. You know, I misspoke a little bit. They have momentum. Justin Fields is playing so much better, but they struggle to finish games. And what you said was a great point. Anytime that they get down, how the hell are they going to come back? Because that's when mistakes happen. Late in the game, this guy throws a pick. I mean, you can't make those types of silly mistakes. If you're a young quarterback and you are having some success and you are completing passes because you're opening up with the run game, find a way to finish a game. Honestly, I think this is a solid opportunity for the Bears to kind of put it all together. So I'm excited just to see that. I think this is a good matchup. I just don't want the Falcons to win. I can't see it. I don't want to see it.
Should be a good, low-scoring, boring, fun game for us.
Yes. Yeah. I need that W, though. 3 points. Can I change my pick? Speaking of momentum. We're getting into those locks, aren't we?
Lock it up.
We're getting into the locks, aren't we? I'm telling you right now, I'm on the Kirk Cousins chain. I was about to say I'm on the Kirk Cousins chain. I'm on the Kirk Cousins train. That boy was chained up. He was grooving. I was waiting to see how many chains he was going to have on his neck after the
2 weeks in a row.
Man, listen, he's lighting it up. I think this is exciting, man, because the Vikings came off a huge win in Buffalo, and the Dallas Cowboys came off a tough loss in Green Bay. The question to me is, which of these teams are going to respond? I think this is this is one of those games where you have a team in the Minnesota Vikings that are playing good football, and then you have a team in the Dallas Cowboys that just couldn't finish the game last week, who had it, but just let Aaron Rodgers come back. Who's going to respond? I believe that Minnesota has all the pieces in place. Hawkinson was such a great pickup for Minnesota. They have all the pieces, like we were saying. Running back, wide receiver group is awesome. Tight end tight end position is solid now. Cousins has got to ball. He's got to find a way to get it done. But here's the areas that I'm watching. The Dallas Cowboys, 35 sacks on the year. That ranks number 1 in the NFL. They pressure a third of the passing plays that they play against. That's impressive. So 1 out of 3 passing plays that their opponents has, the Dallas Cowboys, they're getting to the quarterback. In Minnesota, they took 4 sacks last week against a very good Buffalo front seven. And Kirk Cousins got hit 10 times as well. That's going to be the deciding factor to me in this game. I'm excited about the Justin Jefferson-Trayvon matchup, but the 2 keys to this game here is, can Minnesota contain Pollard? This guy is almost getting 6 yards a carry. That can't happen if you want an opportunity to win. And number 2, the next thing that I'm looking for is the Vikings offensive line. Like I said, they gave up 4 sacks and 10 hits last week. That's not going to get it done. The Cowboys can rush the passer extremely well, like I've already said. The O-line, I'm putting this game on you guys. The pass rush, the pass protection has got to be solid, and you got to run the ball effective. Feed this guy Dalvin Cook. It's going to be tough sledding, but this is not the type of game where you just want to drop back, and put the ball solely in the hands of Kirk Cousins. Now, he is playing good ball, but you got to be able to mix it up. And I think that's on the O-line to give this team and the play callers the confidence. So I'm going with the Vikings here as my lock.
Locked it with the Vikings. Rolling. Now, there's the momentum you were talking about.
That's the momentum. That's the winning momentum that I'm talking about.
Correct. For the first time in Bush and Me show history, we're going head-to-head on our locks, baby. No, we went against each other a couple weeks ago, I think. Yeah, I had San Fran. You had Kansas City.
Two games.
So for the second time in history, we were against each other last week before our locks. This is the second time in history. I have the Dallas Cowboys in this game, and for some of the reasons that you said, they lost a tough game last week against Green Bay. They probably should have won. People will remember that. Everyone saw what the Vikings did last week. Everyone. I mean, that catch by Jefferson, the comeback, everyone saw that. And I think everyone's going to be behind these Vikings this week. But Vegas came out and said the spread is Dallas minus 1.5. They're saying Dallas is the better team. So I dug in a little more, and I think that Dallas is the better team. Defensively, like you said, sack-wise, I think they're going to get the Cousins. I think they're going to be able to stop the run. Love the defense. I think they're going to run the ball. I wrote down Pollard. I think Pollard's going to have a really big game in this. Dallas, 16-5 against the spread against the NFC the last 2 years. That includes last week's loss. So I think they're going to get back on track with that this week. The Vikings win last week. I thought about this too. Reminded me of the Kansas City Buffalo game last year in the playoffs. How back and forth it was, how emotional it was, how celebratory it was at the end because they won a big game. And look what Kansas City did the week after that. They laid an egg in the AFC Championship game against the Cincinnati Bengals. I just think the Vikings are due for that kind of letdown right here. They got a lot of emotion tied into that game. They got a lot of guys wearing a lot of chains. There's a lot of weight on their shoulders. I just don't think they can. I don't think they're going to be doing any gritty this week. I think it took too much out of them. I like this spot for Dallas. I'm on the Cowboys, baby.
I'm trying to find me a little. I'm trying to find me something here. Hold on. I can't find it though.
Good.
You better be lucky. You better be lucky because I was trying to figure out what the Vikings how did they rank defensively, rush yard wise.
Oh, I got you. Why don't you tell a little joke for the people while I pull it up? I got another reason I forgot about too. Kirk Cousins sucks in primetime, right? This game didn't get flexed to primetime. It's at 4:25. But that means in London, it's going to be 9:25. That's a primetime game. In London.
We're not doing that. You're not doing that. Not at all.
The people in London are going to bet against Kirk Cousins because for them, it's primetime. Yeah, they're not great against the run. They're ranked 16th.
That's not bad. I'm okay with that. You just can't let the guy run crazy. Pollard's going to get his yards. The offensive line in that scheme, they're going to get their yards. But we got to find a way not to have him dictate the whole game for you.
It'll be a great game either way, but I hope you lose.
I don't know about this one, big dog. They're playing in Minnesota, man.
I know.
Skull.
I know.
What do they do up there?
Skull.
That skull clap or whatever you call it.
Everything points Minnesota, and it's not that easy, so I'm going with Dallas.
It never is that easy. Prepare to go down. At least one of those games. The Bears one scares me, but it is what it is. We'll see.
This is the last game. This will be the last show before Thanksgiving, so I hope you guys have a happy holiday. Spend some time with your family.
Oh, gosh. What are you eating?
You know, at the Meehan house, Thanksgiving and Christmas is big on broccoli. Broccoli casserole. Broccoli casserole.
How many casseroles are you?
We got broccoli casserole, green bean casserole. I think that's it. We always got a little pumpkin dish.
Of course.
Mashed potatoes,
I
stuffing.
knew you would have pumpkin pie.
We got the turkey and the ham. We do a little both.
Okay.
My sister doesn't eat meat, so we'll probably have something sushi or something that she orders. Don't ask questions you don't want the answer to.
Is she a new vegan?
Nah, she's been one for a while, since before it was cool.
Oh, oh no, I don't eat meat anymore. Sorry. I can't talk.
Right. Right. What are you guys eating?
Listen, what are we eating? The wife's going to bake a big turkey. I'll smoke a turkey or I'll fry one, whatever the boss wants.
How many turkeys you got?
at least two. At least two. No, you know what I'm gonna do? She's gonna bake one. I'll smoke one. I'll fry some chicken. You know I gotta do that. Don't even think about cracking the joke. I'll get the wife to do some greens for me and some mac and cheese, and I think her sister and her family's coming. Listen, we're gonna get it in. We're gonna have a good time. I'm eating salads and rice and stuff to, get ready for the big day next Thursday.
There you go. Get it in. I hope you guys enjoy time with your family. We'll give you guys picks. There's 3 games on Thanksgiving. We'll give you guys picks. We probably won't have a full show for that one. That'll be for the weekend, but we'll get you picks out there. So make sure you guys are following us. Facebook, Instagram. We'll post it on our Facebook page. Big Dog, happy holiday.
We out.
We'll see you guys.
Happy holidays to you. Enjoy your weekend. Enjoy this football. We out.
See you next week.